is Andrew Bard, and welcome to another very, very exciting episode of the Urban Chicken Man. So today what we're going to talk about, well, it's a couple things. I'm going to go over with you the kinds of feeds that you're going to find for your chickens. Because again, if you're doing this in an urban environment, you really can't rely on bugs and grasses and things like that. Most people don't have a big enough lot to feed chickens naturally just in their backyard. You're going to end up buying feed. And when they're young, you really need to buy feed anyway to get it medicated. And I'm going to go over that for coccidiosis, a common disease among chicks. So anyway, what we're going to do first is we're going to check on Meera, which is what we've named our sweet little sickly chicken that almost died on us a few days ago because of coccidiosis. It's the one that was in the last video that was drinking the sugar water to try and get her strength back. So in here, you can't really see at the moment, but she is, oh, and you've noticed we've changed our coop. So we got a nice plastic bin now. It's quite an upgrade over the cardboard one. If nothing else, I like the cardboard one better because it had separate chambers so you can clean one while you move them across. But it just got full of shit. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. They were moving the rags out of the way and they were going to the bathroom, and it's really hard to scrape that off a cardboard without getting the cardboard up. So we just went to this. These girls are going to go outside in about a week and a half anyway. So let's take a look at our little girl here. I'm going to show you a couple things. First of all, she's much smaller than the rest. Okay? And what she's got here, you want to check her to make sure she doesn't have any plugs. Is that good? So you want to make sure that she's not clogged up. So we don't have any signs of infection back here. Like she doesn't have any poop stuck to her, any mud butt, that kind of thing. She's very, very scared right now. You can feel her shake. She's not quite used to being held yet. You want to pick your chickens up every once in a while and just kind of stroke the back of their neck to kind of calm them down. Because if you're going to have these as pseudo pets, you're going to be handling them on occasion. You don't want them scared of you. So every day I usually pick up 3 or 4 random ones, and just make sure that they're okay. So you can see that she's still molting, still getting rid of her first little down feathers and getting her first feathers in. But the big thing is we want to check her for infection. And when you hold her, you want to hold chickens over the wings, okay? Now, some people will say, oh, maybe you're holding them too hard or whatever. Obviously, you don't want to hold them so hard that you hurt them. But the purpose of this is if they struggle less, if they feel more secure, like they can't get away, they'll struggle less. They're less likely to hurt themselves while you're holding them. So anyway, you just want to kind of hold them over the wings, hold them underneath while you check them out and inspect and all that. No quick movements, no sudden jerky movements. And this girl here is doing pretty well. Again, she's scared. I can feel her shaking, but she's doing pretty well. Now, let's get on to the kinds of feed. Okay? So, for chicks, this is what I feed ours. Okay, it comes out of a local retail store, Orscheln. If you're in the Cape Girardeau area, okay, it comes out of Orscheln. It's 2 things about this. 18% starter. When chicks are young, and I mean like firstborn, they need about 20 to 24% protein in their feed, okay? This right here, the 18% refers to how much protein is in this feed. Now these girls here are pullets. They're roughly about 8 weeks old, maybe a little more than that. And they are not laying their first eggs yet. So pullets are not chicks, all female, between 8 and 20 to 25 weeks old, depending on breed, basically from 8 weeks to about when they start laying their first egg. So pullets, you want to feed 16 to 18%. Now, once they get older, let's go back. One thing I always recommend, get the medicated feed. Okay, it'll say medicated somewhere on the bag. That is a medication for coccidiosis, which is what my girl had, okay, and the reason why she almost died. So you want to get the medicated feed. It takes a little while for it to start working. So with her situation, she came literally from the store with coccidiosis. Luckily, we caught it before the other chickens got infected, or at least they got infected. They took in, there's a phrase I'm looking for. They took in the parasite that causes coccidiosis, but the medication took care of that problem. So we didn't see any signs of coccidiosis in any of the other chickens, so that's good. Anyway, so 16 to 18% for a starter feed on pullets, and you want to look for medicated, okay? Now, they will obviously grow up one day. So, I don't get paid by these guys. I'm just telling you, this is the best feed I found. So if you're in the Cape Girardeau, southeast Missouri area, okay, look for a company called Performance Blenders. They're a little west of Gordonville, and I probably should have warned them before I made this video because now I'm sure there's so many people watching this video, they're going to get swamped with calls. But Performance Blenders is where I buy this from. They deal directly with farmers. This is very good feed. I'll go through for when I had 6 cinnamon queens, I went through roughly 1 50-pound bag a month. And I was able to kind of stretch that out a few days when I started putting in the bug zapper that was dropping bugs down on the ground. But still, about 1 bag every month to maybe 35 days or so. When you go to get feed, you have to look for one main thing. You either want egg maker, which is also called layer feed. Okay, you'll see it on bags as layer feed. Or you're going to look for what's affectionately known as broiler feed. It's all in your intention in the chicken. If you want them to make eggs, you want to get layer feed or egg maker feed. If you want to slaughter and eat them, then you want broiler feed. And I think broiler feed is ridiculously cruel to call them that, but it's still kind of funny. Anyway, so the main difference is broiler feed doesn't have calcium in it. This has about 3% calcium, so they can make shells. Broiler feed has more protein in it, so they'll put more muscle on, and they won't lay that many eggs on broiler feed because it just doesn't have what they need. So most of their calories go into production of meat. These girls here, when they're laying eggs, when they're done laying eggs, they won't get slaughtered. They'll get put on a farm because there's no point in slaughtering them and eating them. They won't have any meat on them. So most of their calorie intake goes to producing an egg. Anyway, if you have any questions about what to feed them and all that, feel free to send me a message. Scan the QR code down in the bottom right corner. Join us on Facebook if you'd like. And thanks to the quarantine, I have nothing else to do but answer your questions all day. So feel free to send me one if you need anything. Thanks. Have a good day.